We're back from lunch, really exciting lunch as well. We got to listen to Pierre Lassonde and Rob McEwen. And that ties into who we're speaking to next, because we're going to talk a little bit about the Lassonde curve. And we've got Northile Gold and Copper, Sam Lee, President and CEO. Outstanding background. You've got a great management here as well. Stock has also done exceptionally well. Very interesting story. Taking that whole Lassonde curve under consideration, tell us first just what you guys have done so far up to date and why people are paying a lot of attention to you.
Sure. Well, Lassonde curve, as everyone knows, it spikes up when you make discoveries. It then kind of trades mid-water level when you develop a project, but it's essential work that you need to do, and then it spikes back up again when you go into production. And so the project that we have has approximately 7 million ounces of gold in indicated, 3.5 billion pounds of copper in indicated. It's in Canada, one of the safest and prolific mining jurisdictions in the world. And we've just made, in addition to defining that resource, which we are going to be moving into a PEA in the next 3 or 4 months, we have just made 2 major discoveries in the last year and a half, which I think is evident around our share price appreciation.
Yes, I mean, I have to say the share price might be indicative, it may not be, but it's clearly indicative here, and it's showing a lot of support in what you're doing on a number of fronts. I look at, say, BC, Canada in general, regardless of the way politics goes, both are in favor of copper for sure. The electric future, having 3 billion pounds of copper available to BC would be, I mean, that's excellent. I mean, that's fantastic. And that, once again, doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on, it's so critical. But you also have, I mean, that's what's so great is the precious metal story, because that ties in with the entire kind of global shift and change in the kind of battle that's going on between BRICS and the US dollar. What's your kind of take on all of that?
Sure. Well, I've always said that copper is the critical metal. It is the electrification metal. It's the metal that's going to allow us to decarbonize as the world sees it today. And the reason behind that is you can't distribute power, or you can't make electric car vehicles, or you can't continue with the AI momentum that we're seeing right now without that distribution, and copper is king. Having said that, gold is the critical currency, and that we've just heard that being pounded into the audience time and time again with respect to Pierre Lassonde and Rob McEwen's speech. It allows, because it's a currency, because it trades at premium valuations, it allows companies like ourselves to offer a lower cost of capital to our shareholders and stakeholders. We could use it as a financing tool. We could use it as a production tool. We would be considering well over 150,000 ounces of gold production a year in this upcoming PEA that we are looking to release very shortly. And so this balance of having the most critical metal in the world in copper, and also having the most critical currency in the world in gold, I think sets us apart from our competitors.
And having that stability is pretty awesome. You mentioned open pit, and don't want to speculate too much in the future, but generally that's a cheaper undertaking than an underground mine. But this is not just a story of here's what we have and a story. This could grow from there.
Totally.
There's optionality here as well. I think sometimes people look and they think, oh, that's it. They're defining their PA. It's over. The story's over. It's like, no. Slow down.
That's exactly right. And I think that's another reason why we exist in different segments of that Lassonde curve. We've made 2 new discoveries, one of which has enabled us to contemplate a lower capital intensive project, which will be obviously released in our new PEA in a couple of months. But the second opportunity that we have is just beside it, where we are seeing grades and intercepts of significant proportions, higher than mining grades and widths that are currently being mined in open pits. And this is only about 1 kilometer away. We call it West Goodspeed. So we'll continue that exploration endeavor. We're currently drilling it today. We're going to be releasing a number of these batch results over the course of the next 2-3 months as well. And then we're going to go right into the 2025 season once we get those results. The third opportunity, exploration, that you've alluded to is underground potential. Whilst it is much higher cost and, quite frankly, more difficult to get that discovery, we still have this incredible 35-kilometer land package whereby we do have a philo type opportunity, so big copper porphyry systems opportunity pre-discovery, that through prudent capital allocation, we are going to go and look for that big elephant discovery in the near future. So we've got lots of levers to pull, lots of options here as it relates to that exploration growth as we supplement it for our development project that we've just recently defined.
I think not to blow your own horn too much, but you come from a finance background. You've done between equity and debt, like almost 100 billion in deal flow.
I have mostly M&A, actually.
M&A, yeah.
But I'm also a metallurgist. So before being an investment banker, I did study metallurgy, and my thesis was in fact on these copper gold porphyry systems in Chile. So this is an area that I'm very, very well versed in. It's an area that I'd probably say of that $100 billion of deal flow, I'd say over 80% of that were for large copper porphyry systems like this. And so yes, they happened towards the second half of the cycle, 2006 to 2011. I think we're kind of in the fourth inning right now of that cycle. So I do believe we're in the precipice of that second half of the cycle, the super cycle, where you do have this insatiable need for larger, bigger, better projects. And that's what I think we have. I've been saying this for the last few years now. We have been stalled out a bit because of a lot of disruptive activities, including COVID, supply disruption, war. But I do believe, and certainly after talking or listening to this luncheon that we just heard, we are on that precipice of that super cycle.
Well, and the world is waking up. I mean, you see the mainstream news reflecting on the critical need for especially at copper. Goldman Sachs, it's the new oil. I mean, it's going to trickle down so that a retail crowd will realize, listen, I should be involved in this. If I want to be involved in the story of a green transition, there's no better way than, if I'm a Canadian, to invest in a Canadian project that has those mineral rights that we can deliver straight to a battery, straight to whatever it is, AI, data centers, all of these things that we need copper wiring for. Huge benefit. And also the team. I mean, you're bringing a level of expertise to a junior company, which that speaks volumes. That stands out a lot, and I think people should pay attention to that.
I agree with that. If you look at our board and our management team, we have over 200 years of expertise in finding, building, developing, funding, and selling projects across the cycle. So it is a very strong team, and I'm really, really happy to be leading it. And
once again, there's some urgency here too, because like you said, there's going to be lots of news. There's going to be a lot of activity in the next few months. And really, PDAC and VRIC are not that far off. So there's lots happening then. So people need to be paying attention over the next little while to see what's coming out from you guys.
Agreed. And I think the time is now. In terms of an insider involvement, a number of us, including myself, have doubled their positions in the stock recently. In June, I more than doubled my position to $7.5 million. These are all money that I'm actually investing in, not just shares that have been given to me. And so insiders currently have over 15% of it. Institutions have over about 11% of it. Three individuals, Michael Gentile, Donald K. Johnson, and another gentleman have approximately 25% of it. So it's a very well held stock. It's well institutionally held as well. One of the largest gold funds, Franklin Templeton, just came in last December, one of the largest gold funds in the US because of the gold exposure that we have. So the future is looking very bright.
Yes, great partners. And I can't say it enough, is that going into the market to actually purchase, that's real skin in the game. It's one thing to have options and you get extra bonus. That's great. But to actually go in and to put your money where your mouth is, that says a lot, and that's something, once again, people should pay attention to.
Agreed.
Thanks, Sam. I really appreciate it. This was wonderful. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.